Dwayne Marcus, I have a theory to kick to you that I think I'll wait until we finish here because I think it's gonna
Uh-oh.
manifest in this segment for both of the
Okay.
teams that we put together. So explain again one
Okay.
more time what we're doing here.
So what Martin and I are
Or
doing is
what
Martin and
we
I have
already
each made
did.
a team for Caitlin. Or yeah, what we already did is we already made a team for Caitlin. We made a team for Angel Reese using the other players on their team WNBA as teammates. And so, Martin, why don't we start off with Caitlin? Who is on your quote unquote team, Caitlin?
Um so I did you do a six person? Did you do a six man? I just did five.
I do not have a sixth. No.
Okay. All right, cool. So Um, at my two, I've told you I think I want Caitlin to have her Clay Thompson type of wingman in her backcourt as her shooting guard. Someone, nothing against Kelsey Mitchell, who I love, but I just think Caitlin could use someone who's more of a sniper, more fits her style to be like her splash sister, so to speak.
Okay.
I am going with Kayla McBride at the two with Caitlin. Um,
Okay.
I built this five for a little even quick context for Kate. I wanted to build a team that, of course, this we said we wanted to build a team that's suited for Caitlin specifically. So I built this five with Caitlin in mind for what I feel was like the best for her style. So I want a style that's fast up and down. Like I said, I wanted her to have a shooting guard who's a 3-point threat. Kayla McBride is a veteran, having her best season this year. I've talked about her on the show recently. And I think she checks those boxes. I think she'd be a great fit next to Caitlin at the two. So I'm going three guards. Because again, I want to go a little small, but I want a fast up and down lineup and look, and that's versatile. And I need two-way players on the wing as well. So at my three, I'm going three guard lineup. I'm going with Alicia Gray at the three.
Okay.
My
Okay.
four is Angel Reese, getting
Oh
up and
wow.
down, getting up and
Okay.
down. I think it makes tons of sense, and we'll talk about that more in a little bit. And at the five, I have Jonquel Jones, floor
Okay.
spacer. She can bring you
Yeah.
out. She can go high low with Angel. Can handle the stuff inside. Jonquel spaces you out outside. Physical rebounder, veteran savvy. So a good mix of veteran, of shooting, of styles. I think this is a team that would match Caitlin's pace, her IQ, her knack for passing, the right
Sure.
amount of shooting,
Mhm.
tenaciousness, experience. I put some real thought into this. So that's my five for Caitlin is Caitlin at the one, Kayla McBride, Alicia Gray, Angel Reese, and Jonquel Jones.
That's interesting. We both had the exact same thought of like wanting to have that pace and that up and down, but I don't have it's interesting. I also have John Cole Jones at the five for me.
Interesting.
I also have a three guard lineup. Um, I think so. Okay, so my shooting guard, I went with Enrique. Um,
Ooh.
Primarily because thinking about it in a half court set, one thing we always talked about with Caitlin was the gravity, right? And I would say that based on who, based on who we're picking from a guard standpoint, the person that comes second as far as gravity out of all the guards on that side would be Enrique. So in a half court situation, if we're not just running up and down in a half court situation, there's a lot of gravity there for Enrique, which means a lot more open shots for Caitlin, and a lot more range of motion for her if she wants to drive and finish. I do have Kayla McBride. Kayla McBride is just at the three. I thought she would be more suited at the three compared to Enrique, so I just flipped them there. And then my four, instead of Angel, I have Dawana, because again, going back to being able to run up and down and kind of push the pace while also being a reliable shooter, that's what they do in Connecticut. On top of the tenacious defense that they play. So I've got Caitlin at the one, Enrique at the two, Kayla McBride is my three, DeWanna Bonner is my four, and then John Cole Jones is my five. I think again, like pushing the ball up the floor. I also think in the half court, especially though, this lineup for Caitlin causes problems if they want to do the two-man game, if they want to get into the pick and roll, if they wanted to even play some triangle offense. There's a lot of different options they can go with having those
Triangle
four
offense. Oh
around
my.
her. Why not?
We're getting fancy. We're getting fancy now on Protect That Team. Um,
Why not?
you're not doing Caitlin any favors defensively with that lineup, my friend.
I am not. You're right. There's not much defensive favors on that lineup. You're 100% right on that. You're right. You're right. It's okay though.
So very, very interesting though. Very interesting. I built Angel's 5 with this in mind. Shooting around her in the front court and in the back court. Kind of similar to Caitlin. I mean, I wanted some veteran, I wanted some versatility. I definitely wanted length alongside her as well. I also was trying to think of players that would want to get the ball inside. I also was thinking of scorers. Like I want other players who can score, so you're not relying on Angel to be like your number one scorer, so she can do cleanup stuff, so she can, get you 15 and 10 or 18 and 12 and still contribute to winning and not have to be like super dominant. So that's where I went with it with my 5. So at the 1, I have Caitlin Clark. At the 2, I have Arike. I think Arike with Angel, and I brought it up last week how Dallas should be almost kicking themselves for not drafting
100%.
Angel at 5. Nothing against JC Sheldon, but I mean, I just think even now, like you look at not having Satu, they've been struggling. Like I think they'd be competitive. If you have Angel in there with Arike, that duo alone, I think would be causing people problems. So I love the idea of Arike and Angel together. So I have Arike at 2. And then I have DeWanna Bonner at 3. For her length, her versatility, and her scoring ability, and just the savvy. Like you're looking at Arike, DeWanna Bonner, like they know how to win games. They know this league. So building around, young players like Caitlin and Angel. And then I put Jonquel at 5. I have Jonquel at the 5 in both lineups.
Interesting. That's interesting. Okay. So before I made my team, I had to decide where I thought Angel would be best suited. And I felt like Angel would be best suited with the players around her at the 4. So Angel's my 4. I also have Arike at the 2. She has experience playing off of bigs. She has experience playing off of 2 bigs, which was important. And then for the other 3 positions, I was really just kind of sitting here and I'm trying to figure out if I could put Angel Reese in an ideal situation, looking at like other teams across the league, what situation I think would be best suited for her as far as having front court mate. And I think the first team that came to mind was Seattle because of the Ezzy Nneka pairing and how, again, like if you remember at the beginning of the season, I said that I thought that Ezzy would benefit greatly from having Nneka in the front court with her. And I feel the same way. If Angel Reese were in that position, I think she would be playing just as well as Nneka is playing right now, or as he's playing right now. So I have Nneka as my 5 for Angel. And then the 1 and the 3 were kind of tough for me. I was kind of trying to figure out, again, thinking about players that kind of have some familiarity with playing off of 2 bigs, but also kind of having a little bit of versatility at the 3. So what I decided is I have Alicia Gray at the 1 because I think that if we want to push it a little bit, she can do that. I also, from watching Atlanta Dream Games, she plays well off of Tina Charles. She plays well in those types of situations. And again, the pick and roll, whether it's Alicia and Angel, whether it's Alicia and Nneka, that works. And then for my 3, I have Dearica Hamby, which originally when I had Angel at the 5, Dearica was the 4. So I just kind of pushed everything up to put Nneka in there. And I have Dearica Hamby at the 3 for no reason other than just kind of looking at it from a size perspective. I didn't really, in my mind, I didn't really like the idea of DeWanna and Nneka and Angel on the floor together. I know DeWanna obviously, spaces the floor and doesn't really play much down low, but that felt kind of clunky in my head. So I went with Dearica Hamby over DeWanna Bonner. So that's my 5. Alicia Gray, Arike, Dearica, Angel, and Nneka at the 5.
Interesting. De'Erica, Angel, and NECA is quite the front court for sure. I like the NECA pick at 5. I thought about pairing Angel with NECA. I thought that would be a really cool, versatile, like double tandem. Like
Yeah.
I thought that would be cool. I just love John Quell's spacing.
Mhm.
And yeah, De'Erica Hamby at the 3. That's interesting. I
Yeah.
mean, she's certainly versatile enough. I think she
Yeah.
has dual forward capabilities, so that I think that would work. Very interesting. Let me
I was
kick to
not
you.
expecting you. I will say this: I was not expecting you to put Angel on Caitlin's team and Caitlin on Angel's team. But I probably should have known
Does it
better.
not make the most
No,
sense?
it
Does
makes
it not?
perfect
Does it
sense.
not
That's
make
what I'm saying. Like, I probably should have known better. I wasn't thinking about it that way. But when you said, "Oh yeah, that does makes great sense,"
and
makes great
so that
sense.
leads me into my theory that all of this war that's been going on, the Caitlin versus Angel stuff from the LSU to Iowa and the rookie of the year now, and all this rivalry, people try to make it this whole thing. Man, it
Mhm.
may just need to happen that these two become teammates eventually. And basketball wise, if you think about the things that each of them really need in a counterpart in the other position, they're really almost like made for each other. What does
Yeah,
Angel need? When did Angel look her best with a guard? With a guard like Alexis Morris, a lead guard who could get it off the bounce, who could score the ball, play 2-man game. You handle the perimeter, all clean it up inside. What does Caitlin need? She was great with Megan Sanano because she was just running the floor, ceiling, and just catching the ball well and looking for things. She needs a big who can run, catch, pass, rebound, and do the dirty work. I
yeah,
feel like we may all be looking at this the completely wrong way. We may need to start a
yeah.
campaign to say now they're both in respective positions where we feel like they're going to do well and they both belong there. But
Mhm.
sometimes I get this feeling where I'm like, you know what? If you think about it basketball wise, and that's why I'm looking forward to the All-Star game, our first
Yeah,
time getting to see them play together, and they're playing against Team USA. So what better display to show how well they can play together? Marcus, they're both super competitive. They both
yeah,
want to get up and down. They both talk. They both so they're I feel like they might really go at Team USA and really show what they can do together. I think they should.
yeah,
And if it happens, the buzz should start about, because even doing these lists, bro, these drafts, it'll be cool. And look, like I said, they're both in good situations, good franchises, good players on their team. They'll probably even get even better players on their team in the coming years. But seeing like Caitlin Clark, her name next to like, putting her with Alicia Gray, Jonquel
mhm,
Jones, like the possibility of
mhm.
Angel Reese playing with an Enrique or something. I mean, like
Yeah,
that, the sound of that just is just so crazy. So yeah, but when I'm like, man, if there's going to be any kind of like movement like we have in the NBA, every single year, if there were ever to be
yeah,
some kind of crazy thing to happen, man, that might be it. That might be the one that really breaks the internet. That really gets gets people going. Like if they become teammates, man,
yeah. You know
that
what
would
I love
change
to say, man?
everything.
It hit like crack in the 80s, I would say. So yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point. I can't believe I don't know what I didn't really like think of, but yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. They are a match made in heaven for it. We're gonna see it 100%. There's no way we're not gonna see it. Like
We're
at
about to see
some
it in the
point we're gonna
All-Star
see,
game. I can't
but
wait.
I mean like officially, like at some point they're gonna be on the same team together. Like I feel
I
like
don't
that's
know.
coming.
I don't know if
I feel
it'll
like it's coming,
happen.
bro.
It would take them. I mean, it would just take certain things to happen, circumstances.
That's true.
Somebody would have to be crazy enough. That's one of those things where you need a Chris Jenner behind the scenes who's working it. You need that's one of those where you need a Don King, a Chris Jenner, one of those big time decision maker shot callers who's like, yo, we're making this happen. Like this is
That's
going
fair.
to happen.
Yeah, that's a great
Someone would
point. Who
have
do you
to push
think's
it.
gonna win the All-Star game? The Team WNBA or Team USA?
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Are you serious? What? Why you you asked me that with a straight face as if that's an intelligent basketball question for me?
I did. Hey
Who
man,
do I
look,
think is gonna win?
last time they did this, Team WNBA won, bro. That's all I'm saying. That's all. I'm just curious. Just curious. Just wanted to get into your mind a little bit. Man.
Okay. Well, no, it's gonna be competitive. Look, the most
It is.
interesting thing will be Caitlin and Angel. Like, obviously, there's other really good players better than them and stuff that are gonna make it tough for them. But I mean, it's the Aces, bro. They have the 4 best players on the Aces, and then they have Stewie and Sabrina and Kalia Copper. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
But I think it will be competitive. The mix, like, again, even doing this list with these lineups, bro, the mixture of Caitlin and Angel with these other like really good WNBA veteran like role players, isn't it interesting, bro? It's almost like the 2 biggest names and stars who everyone's been talking about. Now they're playing with a bunch of players that like a lot of the fan bases don't know as well. The Team USA players are the names that people know more. Breanna Stewart, Diana Taurasi, right? Like Asia Wilson. They more people know those names. They don't know Alicia Gray and Kayla McBride and right? Like, so Caitlin and Angel, I feel like that team is really built for them to really compete and do well because they're surrounded by a bunch of good players, veteran players too.
Yeah, I would say that's fair. I 100% agree. I don't think I do think it'll be competitive, but I mean, yeah, you're right. The Team USA is going to win. I
think so. Unless we get a moment, unless like I feel like Caitlin would have to start getting off. Like I feel like Caitlin and Angel would have to make their mark, and then kind of give their team like some momentum, to kind of get behind them. It's going to be interesting. I'll also say it'll be interesting if there's like a Caitlin moment with Team USA. Like, I think, players have taken their time. Like, even when Phoenix played Indiana the first time, Diana made a point to go say hi to the girl, whatever. Brittany had a little moment with her before the game, before tip off. Like, that's like, they acknowledge the girl. That's a thing you do with other talented players. You chop it up before the game, whatever, give them dap, whatever, say what's up, especially if it's your first time playing against them, you kind of just show respect or whatever. I like, again, it's not going to be some freaking parade like, these idiot fans want it to be for her. But I just wonder if, certain players might take a moment. It's just going to be interesting in general to see like Team USA, even like in, warm ups, shooting around, whatever, like them get to like interact with Caitlin in an all-star setting and get to joke around with her and like maybe get to know her a little bit, I mean, there's just been that whole thing about like Caitlin being detached from the rest of the league and not getting advice and all that stuff. So All-Star is like literally that place where we see the stars get to come together and laugh together and get to, so that'll be interesting to just see how those dynamics are playing out around Caitlin, because we know Caitlin's going to be the center of attention. Yeah, Caitlin is going to be the center of attention. That's fair. I mean, look, it's wish I was heading to Phoenix this weekend, but I know it's hot as HE double sticks, double hockey sticks out there. So yeah. I don't know if I feel. Oh, I'll wait for them to go somewhere else that's not the desert, and maybe we'll see. I do love Phoenix though. Great city. I was there in October. Great city. I do. That sounds like a great time to go to Phoenix in October. Summer. Exactly. It was lovely in July.